Right, just about starting the Eicr on this board. Just wanted to, my head is filled with such useless knowledge, but just want to go through the rewirable 3036s. There were like, there are three types: S1A, S2A, and S4A. I believe the 1, 2, and 4 meant the Ka rating. So the S1A was rated 1 Ka. S2A was 2 Ka, and S4A was 4 Ka. Although I don't know, I'll be honest, hands up, I don't know how you tell which one is which. I don't know. Perhaps you can ring Wilex, I'm not sure. But however, I always err on the side of caution, and I always do the 1 Ka. So yeah, three different types. Obviously you've got the arc resistive tube thing, the fuse wire, and obviously the contacts, and like again, it's through like experience. Normally, like this is a 30 amp, and the wire was like a 0.50 mil something, and then the 5 was a 0.20, and 15, which is like the blue ones, were no 50. I think they were 50 mil, 0.50 mil, and the 30s were 0.85 mil or something. So, but it's just from experience. You can look at a fuse and you can go, oh yeah, that's a, you know, that's a 30, that's a 15, that's a 5 and stuff. But yeah, still in the regs books, still compliant. Obviously, a few other factors have to be in place most of the time, but still in the regs book. They were around in the early 1980s, or they're superseded by like the like miniature circuit breakers in the 1980s. So yeah, I'm doing this test. The whole property. The homeowner, I've spoken to the homeowner, and I've had a quick look around. I'll probably take a couple of pictures. In my opinion, I strongly advise a rewire. You know, I don't want to waste their money and time to test it all, to tell them that it needs rewiring. But that's what they want to do. So I'm still performing the Eicr. There's a few issues I've found already. I've done a visual. I've gone around and done a visual. I said I'll show you some pictures and a couple of videos. The service head definitely needs replacing, so I'm going to get them to ring National Grid. The main earth looks undersized to me. It's the TNS connection there. Obviously we've got no RC protection on this consumer unit, and this consumer unit, the only RC protection is this one. It is 30 milliamp, sure, but obviously controlling the whole board was not ideal. There's a load of IP issues, and you know, I'm sure there'll be more issues as I do the testing. Right, as usual, just before I start, I'm just going to check, see what we've got leakage wise. This is the RCD board, protected board, 0.7, not a lot. And then we've got the other board here, which hasn't got the RCD on it. There's some vulcanized Indian rubber, you can see, supplying that RCD there. What have we got there? 0.2 something. So not loads, which is cool. That's a good start, I suppose. So just going to do my ZE. There we go, hopefully. Take your time, Mega. .36, 636 amps. That's with the insulation isolated. I've disconnected the main earth, as you can see just there. So that's cool. That's well within our 1 Ka rating, but it's quite common, or it can be. I've come across it more often than not that the PFC or PEFC is higher than 1 Ka, which obviously worst case scenario, you know, a fault ruptures through at 2.6 Ka. Worst case is that it just arc welds itself together. It doesn't blow and clear the fault, you know. So that's good. A good thing to also check is inside the fuse, the state and the condition of the fuse carriers. Sometimes you can have incorrectly sized fuses in there, where a homeowner's changed them for the wrong size. So, for example, that one looks a bit dodgy in there. That was in use. So yeah, must check these, the condition of these. I mean, I think it just needs completely replacing, but as part of your inspection process, this is the kind of stuff that I'd expect people to see people to do, you know? Not just blindly go, yeah, all good, and tick, 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 you know? Yeah, it's old rewiring. You know, I'm going to do my due diligence and make sure I clarify and inform the client. You know, I am taking an engineering electrical view on the installation, on its current state and condition, so make sure you do it properly, you know? Press test. Red paddle button to lock it on, 250. Linked out line and neutral. I'm going to go to the MET with everything still connected inside the MET. Let's have a look. Neutral bar. Not a bad reading. This is an important test to do because there's currently no RCD on this consumer unit. 26.5. So yeah, press test, press and hold, red button to lock it on, 250 volts, linked out line and neutral, and did it down to CPC. Let's write that down. Do the same for the lighting circuit, neutral to the MET with it still connected, line to neutral, linked together to the MET with everything still connected. 27.3. Connected to the MET. Go around each circuit. Line and neutral connected together to CPC or to the MET, sorry. One by one, work through the circuits. Give me a good reading. Supply completely isolated. Line and CPC. To be expected, really. There's physically no CPC in the cable in the consumer unit. So someone has clearly added onto a circuit that doesn't have a CPC. I have noticed there are a few metal light fittings like that one. Class 1 light fittings, so that's bad news. I expected it, to be honest. I can see, when I did my inspections in the consumer unit, I could see that there was no earth there, so I knew what I was going to get, but it's always good to check. Right, I just want to show you something. So, I couldn't get an R1, R2 from the cooker circuit. I know I wasn't going to get one because there was physically no CPC. There was a period in time where cables were manufactured without a CPC, or certain cables, like for example 1mm lighting cable. There was a period that we didn't do that. The same is for 6mm. I've come across it a couple of times now. There's physically no CPC in the cable. So I didn't get an R1 or 2 at the cooker circuit, but I did get a ZS when I powered up. I just went round just to check, but I got a ZS. So luckily, in this property, the basement is huge and it covers the whole footprint, and I can pretty much get to every position of the house from below. I traced the 6mm. It's this one here. Comes along here. Comes along here. Oh, hang on. Comes along here, and then it goes up. Where is it? That one there. Because that cable just there it is. There's a 6mm. And then I noticed, but that physically hasn't got a CPC conductor inside the cable. But I noticed that going up with it. All right. So that, if we follow it back, keep following it, past here, still going along, stapled to the joist there, up there, around, down, and there it is. Ooh. There it is down there on the lead pipe, wrapped around about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times wrapped round. That's the lead incomer pipework. So that's why I was getting a ZS. It's a fucking basement. That's why I was getting a ZS, but I wasn't getting an R1, R2. Now, I code that as code 2. I'm interested to see what other people would do. I'll post you a picture. I'll post a picture. I managed to find the junction box as well, so I removed the kickboards, and there's a brown junction box, you know, a couple of inches above this position here, where someone has, if you look closely, someone has gone to the effort of sleeving it. See it just there? And in the brown junction box, that just goes straight into the junction box, and then they've come off of that brown junction box with a newer 6mm, which has got a CPC incorporated in the cable, which I did check behind the socket, you know, behind the isolator. When I got a ZS, I thought, oh, that was weird. Dropped the front off, and I noticed it was new cables. Well, I say new, red, black, and a CPC definitely in the supply cable and the load cable. So I knew there must have been a join from the fuse board, which is just there. I knew there must have been a join from somewhere there to the cooker isolator above me. Obviously, there's a lot of effort gone into that. They've actually gone past the fuse board to get that earth attached to the lead pipe. But it's probably an ex-engineer. Normally, that's the kind of stuff I find, as it's normally an engineer's house or something who's got half an idea of what they need to do. But yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys would code that. I didn't get an R1 or 2, but I got a ZS. But I've actually physically found and traced what the reason and what the issue is.